Hey guys, here we go.
Hey folks, Jerry here. Trying to do maybe a last video for the night here. I can't help but think real heavily, folks, on Revelation 12, which has been really heavy on my mind here lately. And actually, Chaplain Bob had even brought it up for a minute to me this afternoon about how some of this stuff like that Pharaonic death cult that I had on my last video I'd done, how that's just more openly just coming right out and being what it is. But you know, folks, I'm going to tell you something. Revelation 12 in the last year and a half, 2 years has really changed a whole lot in terms of what it means for me and what it means in the Bible and how all this unfolds, because it actually unfolds in my eyes in a different way than what that I used to would have interpreted it as being. Used to, I thought that this was the church in general that has been run into the woods by the dragon, and it's far from that, guys, because most common Christian churches and most lukewarm institutions and stuff are not going to be part of this. From what I can see, and you guys may disagree with me on this, but I actually think that this church is, for the most part, the offspring of Mary Magdalene. And I think that if it's not the direct offspring of her, it's the devoted followers of the heavily devoted virgins whose oil, their lamps are full of oil, just like in the Gospels. And so I'm going to take a look right here at Revelation 12, and let's see what all it has to say about that. And I'm going to show you some different pictures here too of different photographs that I had come up with on the internet. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun. Now, the fact that she's clothed with the sun, folks, that is a blood lineage of a pure blood lineage of the angels of heaven. Just like, it's a higher blood lineage, just like what Jesus Christ even has, folks, directly from the Father. Anytime you see something related to the sun there, it's talking about the pharaohs. It's talking about the Aryan race, the children of the sun. Arion, children of the sun. And so the fact that she's clothed with that tells me there that she has a higher angelic blood lineage in her. And the moon under her feet, and upon her head was a crown of 12 stars. I think those 12 stars, folks, is representative of the 12 tribes of Israel. I really do. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon its head. And I want to tell you what that I have came to the conclusion of this dragon with the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Folks, that is Switzerland, with its 7 heads of state and 10 ministries. Switzerland is an evil country, folks. They were the ones who financed Hitler in the war, in World War II. They are also the ones who are running the state of the Middle East over there, the state of Israel. The Ashkenazis, okay? And his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. Well, what that tells me is that tells me that Satan, when he took a third of those stars with him, being the dragon, that means that he took the angels of heaven with him, a third of them with him. It's what he's literally done when he comes here to earth. And that's what that means. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, to devour her child as soon as it was born. Now, how many of you know that when they talk about Mary in the Bible here, they talk about the mother Mary, the mother of Jesus, but then they also make mention to Mary Magdalene. So there's two Marys. But just like what Jesus Christ come to John with in the book of Revelations, it said, he who has the two-edged sword. This two-edged sword, folks, is a double meaning that you see many times throughout the Bible. And I think that two-edged sword can also be applied in this chapter of Revelations. Because when he came to John to tell John these stories, it was a double-edged sword story. That's what that means. So it means that some of these aspects of this are of Mary the mother, and some of the aspects of it are Mary Magdalene, the wife of Jesus, I literally believe. Because I believe this tale is mainly about her, folks. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. Well, that's Jesus, when he died upon the cross for us, folks. And he is to rule the nations with a rod of iron. Now, there may be a blood lineage of him here. I think the Merovingian kings are those blood lineage of him. But like I've tried to tell you before, and I want you to know this for a definite fact, folks, no one can take the place of Jesus Christ as Messiah. That throne is for him and him alone, folks. Okay? And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that should feed her for 1,260 days. And again, I think we're talking about we were talking about the birth of that one that is to rule with a rod of iron. That is Mary the mother. But then I think the woman that has fled into the wilderness right here, this is the seed of Mary Magdalene in the days that we live in, guys. I really believe that. It's not the brunt of the church, folks. The brunt of the church is lukewarm. They're asleep. It's not those people. It's not those. And there was war in heaven. And Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was there a place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out unto the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. And folks, that's what you have to do if you are part of this Church of Magdalene in the days that we live in now. We are literally talking about the Church of Magdalene when we talk about the woman who runs into the wilderness in the days that we live in. It's not the main brunt of the church, folks. Don't love your life to death, guys. I have lost everything that I've got 2 or 3 times now, and I think a lot of it is over my Christian beliefs. I want you guys to know something, and I mean, I don't mind telling you this afternoon as plain as I can say it. I absolutely love the beloved one. I love Mary Magdalene, folks. I think that she has been overlooked so badly. Her contributions that she made to the Christian belief. I actually think some of the gospel she may have even written some of it, folks, but I can't prove that. But why is it, folks, that we always forget our women when it comes down to the Bible? Because she played such a magnificent role, folks. Christianity would not be today what it is if it were not for her. It just wouldn't be. So let's go on here. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. So be like me on this, folks. Be prepared to die for him. And be prepared to die for your Christian beliefs. I know I am. There is nothing that I have here on this earth whatsoever that's worth having anymore that would ever take the place of my salvation, that would ever take the place of my relationship that I have with Jesus Christ. You may not agree with me on some of this stuff that I have to tell you about the Merovingian kings. I don't know if you do or if you don't. But folks, my professed love for Jesus Christ will never be broken by anything that I would be tempted by here on this earth. It's not going to happen with me, guys. Therefore rejoice, ye in the heavens that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth. For the sea, let's see. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that his time is short. And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And that's going to be the seed of Mary Magdalene in the day that we live in, folks. And this is going to be the Church of Magdalene. Exactly what we were talking about today. Those who are the descendants of the beloved one, who are the descendants of the Merovingian king bloodline. I really believe I'm telling you the truth with everything in me, guys. And the woman will give 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness into her place, for she is nourished for a time and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away by the flood. Now, this right here is a very interesting passage that many of you are really going to be confused about. I'm serious. Because what's going to happen is this, and I'm going to show you what I mean by this. This flood, this water that the dragon cast out to the Church of Magdalene, you know what that's going to be? That is literally going to be the lukewarm church and the brunt of the Christian church that's going to lash out against the Church of Magdalene. Literally, folks. Let me show you something right here that backs that up, okay? Hold on. So let's go over to the astrograph, which I've got a friend right here too, folks, I've been talking to some. And you will see, when you go to the Pisces, and again, I have tried to tell you guys, if you go to the Greek language and the Hebrew language, and you go to the astrograph, you can have about anything you want in terms of an interpretation in the Bible. You can have it. It doesn't matter. And so if you will see here with this Pisces, you will see that the element right there that is representative of that is water. And so what does it say again here? Let's read it now. And the serpent cast out of his mouth a water as a flood after the woman. Did you just hear what I said? There it is, folks. It's going to literally be the supposed church, the brunt of the godly church here on earth, that's going to do this. And I know that you've heard some of you have heard me even say that there's a lot of these Christians come after me, and a lot of them, I'm hated among Christians a lot, folks. I am. The brunt of the church despises me, to be honest with you. And this is a good explanation for exactly why. Listen to what it has to say. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that might cause her to be carried by the flood. But the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Now, if the earth opens up its mouth and swallows that water that's coming after the woman, which is the Church of Magdalene, things that get swallowed up by the earth go someplace, folks, that it's not a good place to go. And I think they call that Hades, hell. Just saying. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keeps the commandments of God, and having the testimony of Jesus Christ. So here you're seeing something that a perspective of this church of Mary Magdalene that you have never seen before. That you've never seen before, and I know that whole concept is a little bit new to some of you guys. But I'm just simply telling you folks how that I'm interpreting this in the days that we live in. And actually it's being interpreted in a way that I never thought would have ever been something that I would have believed. But it's came out to play that way. There are going to be a lot of things in our time, folks, that are going to be different. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the same things. It's going to be profound concepts that we didn't fully understand. And it was just like they said to Jesus, "Are you looking to change the laws of Moses?" He said, "No, I'm here to confirm it." Well, what it was is, he was on track and they were off track. And I think throughout the years, I think in a lot of ways we have gotten off track, and now the truth is starting to come out, and I think we're getting back on track, is what I believe. And so, when we talk about the woman into the woods in Revelation 12, I don't think that we are talking about the brunt of the lukewarm church, folks. This is the bride of Christ that we're talking about. This is the seed of Magdalene that we are talking about here. We've already established the fact that the seed of Cain is here. There's no other way around that. And I know you think, well, Jerry, does this whole thing, is it predetermined by blood lineages and stuff? No, not necessarily. A blood lineage doesn't totally save you guys from the wrath of hell. And then again, too, let me make this comment, a blood lineage also doesn't condemn you to hell either, because if you take a look at John Todd's situation, you know, he was part of the Collins bloodline, which is one of the dragon bloodlines of the Illuminati. And they told John Todd, you will never be able to ever escape this bloodline that you're in. It's the way it is. You're going to have to accept it for what it is. And you're stuck in Satan's matrix, and that's just the way it is. You can't get forgiveness in God. And let me tell you something, guys. John Todd, he proved in his life that you can change that around. Now, that's controversial, folks. But I'm telling you right now, I have found some stuff I'm actually going to do a video on John Todd with here shortly. And he changed his life around, and he broke that stride from several generations of witches that had been generational witches, bloodline witches, from generation to generation to generation to generation. And he broke that, folks. And he came over to Christianity. And he never found so much glory in all his life as what he had. And folks, I really believe that John Todd died a Christian in the faith of Christianity, and he saved his soul. And he was part of that Collins bloodline, folks. That's what they had changed their name over to when they came over here. I actually have a video that I'm going to do of John Todd. He said something in one of his videos the other day that yet led me to something else that has a lot of meaning in the world that we live in today. And it's actually going to a song called the 1969 Song of the 110 Man Soldier. And it has a lot of relevance in the world that we live in today, a whole lot. I can't help but think that God is even using John Todd in the day that we live in for his work. But if you are hearing this message, guys, and you were one of those bloodlines, and you were a witch, or you have been a generational witch, that down through the years and stuff, your family has told you there is no chance whatsoever you're ever going to be able to break free of what has been bestowed upon you in terms of a blood lineage. I'm here to tell you right now, take a look at John Todd as an example. And he will show you, yes, you can. I mean, are you saying, Jerry, do you think that there is hope for the seed of Cain even in the world that we live in today? Folks, I'm going to tell you exactly how that I believe, okay? I think regardless of what bloodline that you have came from out of these people or out of Christ or whatever, or out of the seed of Adam, I think that the Lord, honestly, I believe this too, I think the Lord lets you make up your own mind what you want to do. So yes, there's still hope and salvation for you. I really believe that, folks. Take a look at Enoch, and take a look at who he came from in the Old Testament, guys. I'll let you read up on that one of your own, okay? And he was so wonderful in God's eyes that God took him out of here without him dying. The good news that Jesus Christ has brought to this earth, and the good news that I'm bringing to you today, is Jesus, our Lord and Savior, came for the salvation of all mankind here, regardless. So if you're one of these bloodlines, don't let the people around you lie to you and tell you there's no hope for you whatsoever. You're stuck in what that we've got you in. You're stuck in the occult. You're stuck in witchcraft. There's no hope for you. You might as well accept that you're going to be what you're going to be in Satan, because I'm here to tell you right now that's not at all true. If you are a generational witch and you are listening to this afternoon, I want you to take a look at what happened with John Todd, and I want you to carry that into your mind as a memory of what I am saying this afternoon as a direct seed of child of God. You can have hope in your life in Jesus Christ. You are not eternally lost because you are part of that blood lineage. But then again, you're not totally saved just because you're part of the blood lineage of Magdalene, even though I think that for the most part, that's what this chapter 12 is all about in Revelations. It's about the church of Magdalene, but there's exceptions to every rule, folks. Regardless of who you are, guys, and you are listening to what I'm having to say this afternoon, I'm telling you right now, there is hope in Jesus Christ. If you're one of the Rothschild descendants, one of the great-grandchildren, or the generational Rockefellers, Rothschilds, the Onassis, the Bundys, any of these bloodlines that came from the Illuminati, it's not too late for you to receive salvation in Jesus Christ. I'm telling you straight up, it is not too late for you. You can make that decision, and the Lord Jesus Christ will accept you into his heart, just like he accepted John Todd. Let John Todd's situation be an example of what you can do with your life. If you were one of those people that's part of those cults, don't let his death be in vain. If you want to get away from these people and you want to change your life in Jesus Christ, we can help you do it. And there is hope for you. It doesn't matter if you are part of the seed of Cain. I know that it's highly unlikely most of those people are going to change their heart, guys, but they are exceptions to every rule. And Enoch proved it, and John. Hey, folks.
All right, guys, I had a little continuation there, okay? You know how that goes.
Proved it. And there's exceptions to the rule of Magdalene, too, folks. This does not ensure you a seat in heaven. Even though it is going to be her church that is persecuted in these last days in the woods. I promise you it is. Thank you for watching my video this afternoon, folks. Every bit of this comes straight from the heart, and I love each and every one of you. My ladies out there that watch me, I love you girls. Keep Jesus Christ in your heart every day, folks. Don't ever let it veer off from your heart. Step Him in your heart again and again. It doesn't matter how much persecution you receive. I have received so much persecution over my beloved lady here. It's not even funny. I've had people with their fists curled up looking at me and telling me, practically wanting to hit me because of Mary Magdalene. And it's ridiculous, folks. I will not veer off from my love for my Father Jesus Christ. And I will not veer off my love for the beloved one, Mary Magdalene. I won't do it, guys. And you shouldn't either. No matter what the cost, even if it costs you your life, let it be so. Thank you for watching my video.